2, 1, go. So we're starting off as Richter, and I'm going to be collecting 41 hearts at the beginning here to get a neutron bomb at the start of the game as Alucard, and that's going to be used in a glitch later on. Most of the glitches and tricks I'm going to be doing are going to be either really frame tight or position independent or both. So there's a lot of chances that I will fail, a couple of them. But I have saves that are relatively close that I'll be using. So I might have to retry some of the tricks a couple of times. But this isn't the most marathon safe run, but it's really, really cool. So I'm happy I get to show it off. And yeah, that's the prologue fight. So if you want to consider that a boss, I guess I'm cheating.
Well, you're not doing it with Alucard, so technically it doesn't count.
Yeah. There is a way to do no bosses with Alucard at the very end to skip. You can do Dracula % at the very end, throw the boomerangs, and then soft lock. I was considering doing that just as a joke, but I think I'll actually beat the game. Here I'm going to be doing a big toss, which if one of you guys wants to explain how that works.
Yeah, so when he started the game, you might have noticed a specific name that he used. That activates what's called luck mode. They give you max luck, 99. But another thing to do is reduce a lot of your other stats. Most importantly is the health. And your health is low enough, and you take damage. If you take damage more than half of your max HP, so it did 14 out of 25. So when that happens, it just sends him flying and skips the trigger for the death cutscene where he would take all your gear. So he just has like some of the top gear in the game from just doing that toss.
Yeah, that was like the first known death skip from like way back in the day. But yeah. Right now I'm just setting up my experience to... Oh, wow, this guy's good. I'm setting up my experience now such that I'm going to be getting a level up off this axe armor while doing specific kind of movement and stuff to skip having to fight Slugger and Gaibon, which is why I reloaded this room to kill these guys again. So the next kill I get is going to give me a level up. And I'm going to save before this trick because it's once you fail it once, you have to reset or grind to get another level up, but that's not really viable. It would take too long. So yeah, it's a really weird setup. You have to like jump onto the elevator after getting what's known as a reverse shift line, which ends up skipping screens. It's kind of weird and technical, but this might work. It might not. It's weird. It's based on your positioning, so we'll see. Nice. First try. This elevator skips having to fight Slugger and Gaibon, and that's a little tricky. I had to adjust my movement too. The reason that's so hard is because there's no way to find a proper setup for it. You have to summon a mist, which the inputs are left, right, up, down, which changes your positioning like just by default, and it's like a 7-pixel window or something like that. So yeah, you kind of just have to go for it.
And the summon spear can be a little random too, so
that's why I do the pause buffering to make sure that like there's no real timing to it outside of just making sure that the buffering is done properly. And if it wasn't for buffering, this category would be near impossible.
So what even happened there is it's called a reverse shift line. That was discovered by Sockwater a couple of years ago, and it opened up the possibility to make several more categories possible. So it's kind of hard to explain, but like when you level up, you can move 1 pixel forward, and it keeps the screen locked. So he did that, and then he backsteps, and it like did something with his positioning. So when he entered the room, it just put him to the opposite end of the next room, or 1 screen length over. So that allowed him to skip that wall with the cannon, and it skipped Slugger and Gaibon.
Yeah, the reverse shift line is very important for a lot of the skips, as well as the shift line, which is going to be coming up next. I use a shift line in order to skip having to fight the doppelganger and go directly into the library using a library card. Right now, it's again, I'm setting up my experience just so that way the level up happens where I want it to. Lastly, I just need to skip this last skeleton. Yeah, I don't want to kill him because I'm going to be killing him later. And killing this guy gives me just enough experience where I'll level up off of anything now. So I'm going to be skipping the rest of these enemies. Interesting way to skip enemies is you can use the invincibility from summoning the spirit to go through enemies, which is what I'm doing here. It would be faster if I was able to jump over them, but you can only jump over them going from the right to the left and not from the left to the right for whatever reason. Something to do with the way that everything's lined up. Right here, I'm going to be doing a save. This next section is probably the hardest section in the entire run. There's two pretty difficult tricks in a row, and I didn't get any healing items, which would have made this a little bit easier. I did grab a potion for this next trick, but I don't have any extra healing items, which would be nice. But it's fine. So again, I'm going to be doing a big toss to get a garnet. And that's going to be a sellable item that I will use later. Yeah, and if this next trick, if I fail it, I'm wasting like 1.5 minutes, which is the main reason why this category is so difficult to do in a marathon setting. But because if I was just doing, RTA attempts, I would just reset at that point, But yeah, I'm just gonna wait for that fireball. These enemies, they shoot fireballs out at you. That's what the shield is for. But if you jump, your legs aren't covered, and you'll get hit by the fireball. Okay, I'm gonna be doing a setup here to align my position properly. Nice. Oh, thank God. If I didn't hit that, it would have wasted a lot of time. And that was a frame-perfect buffer that I have to do. So that opened a shift line, which let me fall down the screen transition, and it reloads you back into the map in a weird way that shifts me through the floor.
Well done.
Yeah. It's not over quite yet. There's another trick coming up. If I fail it, I have to reset and do this whole section again, which is really bad. But this trick isn't nearly as hard. It's just a reverse big toss off of one of the Doulahands. And oops, wrong button. That happens. I'm just gonna kill these guys because they were giving me trouble earlier. So these guys have a random chance of activating a lightning sword attack, which I want them to do. In fact, let me just, in case they hit me. I find it easier to just walk around and hope they do it. They both did it, perfect. And I'm going to equip this just in case he hits me. Okay, he didn't hit me, good. If he hit me there, it would have been over. Oh, come on. Setting up your positioning here is awkward. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I was a little too early there, but it's better to be too early than to get hit. There we go. Thank God. That trick lets me get up to the fairy card room, and the fairy card is kind of broken. It lets you get all the money you want, and that's going to be really important for the rest of the run. Yeah, if I had failed that, I wouldn't have enough health to do another big toss, and this run would not be completable without resetting.
You're what?
Sweet.
I'm interested in.
So this used to be much different to do this. You used to get the sword card, and you'd use this move called the Sword Brothers, and it would allow you to skip the dialogue and allow you to pause during the shop. So when you have the shop open, you can pause, and you're not supposed to be able to do that because you can equip a sellable item while you have it up in the shop. So if you equip it and then sell it, you just sold nothing. So the game just underflows to 255. So that's basically what he just did, except with the fairy card, because fairy card has dialogue, and for whatever reason that interrupts something with the librarian, same way the Sword Brothers does.
Yeah, right now I'm using potion invincibility to get through a lot of enemies so I don't have to fight them. Anytime you use a potion, mana prism, anything like that, it gives you a brief period of invincibility. It's like half a second or something like that.
Yeah,
and
he picked up a duplicator, which allows him to use any usable items, so he has unlimited use of
potions or I'm going to be using fire boomerangs later, which those are a fun item. They do fun things. Yeah, so far everything's going really, really well. I'm probably going to make the clock rush cycle that's here. All of this movement and everything that I'm doing would have had to wait on a cycle if I was a little too slow. To go up to the Coliseum, you have to go through this area that has like a statue that opens and closes every other minute. And if you're off by a minute, you have to wait for the next minute. So usually if you get all the tricks first try and you don't wait around too long, you'll have the statue be open by the time you get there.
Yeah, if you're used to seeing any percenter all boss runs, because he's using luck mode, all of his stats are lower, and his mana is also lower, so you're going to see a lot more shield bashing in this run.
Yeah, the movement options are a little, oops. They're a little constricted. You can't do as much like wing smashing and stuff like that, but we do end up getting all of the wolf relics, which opens up for some different movement options than you might be used to seeing, which is nice.
Yeah, really cool tricks in my opinion.
Oh, nice. What a snipe. Yeah, the bones that those guys throw go through the floor, and they can just hit you. It's really nice. All right.
Nice.
So this is the room where I would have to wait a minute if I was a little too slow. I'm not getting that health max up. It's not necessary at all. This room is actually scary because if I like get caught at all, oh no, like this, I can just outright die. Oh man, this is bad. I'm just gonna leave. It's not worth it. If I die here, I waste like 4 or 5 minutes. It's not worth it at all. So we're just gonna take it slow. Oh no. I'm just gonna kill them. I've died in this room too many times. It's scary. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's a lot scarier than it looks for sure.
I have to do a menu later anyways, so I'm not really wasting that much time. I'm gonna be saving now because this next trick coming up is really interesting. There's like a spreadsheet that tells you all the possible frame combinations and inputs that end up making this work. I've tried to memorize all of them, but there's like 30 options, so I've memorized like half. And I'll just do the ones that I remember. So yeah, there's that. So this is what the neutron bomb was for. This skip, I'm going to be getting a big toss and leveling up at the same time, which basically allows for the shift lines to happen a lot easier. Okay, second frame. That might not have worked, actually. I'll try it, but... Nah, it didn't work. It was close, though. How much experience? 252. Okay. Kill these guys a couple more times. So I'm just going to try it again, because you have a couple of tries. First frame. This is like third frame. Yeah, I don't know what to do on that one. So I'll try it again. How much experience? I'll kill this guy one more time. There we go. If this one doesn't work, I might just reset for my experience, so that way I don't end up too high of a level. Oh, okay, this one will still work. Nah. Dang, that's unfortunate.
Problem with neutron bomb is when you activate it, it doesn't like attack them immediately. There's like a
delay to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it'll be fine. You can do this trick as much as you really need to. Let's see. Like, if I knew more of the frames that worked, I could have made any of those work, but I just don't have those ones memorized, unfortunately. I could have printed out like a spreadsheet and like used it as a reference, but this one will definitely work. I know this one works. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for this potion invincibility, just so it doesn't screw with my potion's invincibility. The fairy likes to just cast potions for you. Okay, there we go. That skips having to fight Minotaur and Werewolf. Oh, nice.
I remember how long that one took to figure out too. So it's like
Yeah,
I knew it was possible, but just the
before
setup for
the
it.
setup, which the setup was made by Desqual, thanks to him. It was just kind of you just ran at him and jumped and hope it worked. Oh wow, I jumped. I didn't jump actually. That's why I fell. Okay. This is fine though. I made the trick happen. Coming up is like one of my favorite big tosses if it works. It's kind of subpixel dependent whether you get bonked or not, so we'll see what happens. You jump into this guy and he sends you across this whole hallway like this. Sometimes you'll bonk on the stairs, but it skips a whole lot and it's really fast.
Yeah, stairs are really buggy in this game.
As we will find out later.
In many ways.
So this next section, now that I have the Mist relic, I'm going to be collecting all of the extra wolf relics, which will allow me to get the bat later. Because normally the bat is guarded by the lesser demon, which is a boss, and we have to find out a way to skip him. We will be using our buddy Stairs to not have to fight him. But coming up first, we're going to be using fire boomerangs to show off what they can do. They like interrupt transition or transformation animations and like keep your momentum during them, which is really weird. And this is what that looks like. I didn't get it right. You have to throw 6 fire boomerangs, jump, and then transform. It just like keeps your jump height or acceleration throughout the entire animation. And if you have 6 on the screen, it doesn't. It normally wouldn't play that animation, but I guess I wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, I think it like overrides the sprite limit or something. So like when you start backdashing, you can't transform into wolf till one of them leaves the screen. So
Yeah, it's really buggy how they end up working, but it's really useful for us to gain height without any extra relics, which is going to be useful again in this next section. The other way you can possibly gain height without extra relics is what's known as Mist Wolf Rising. You transform into Mist and then Wolf, and you just do that over and over again and hope, and it ends up giving you height. This room is awful just because you can't really react to when the zombies are going to spawn. It's all random, so you just kind of hope you don't run into them. And then this next room is even worse because it's random zombie spawns and set spawns from these like zombie knight, bloody zombie guys. Yep. Like you can't even see them come up. Their hitboxes are there like as they're spawning up. So you just kind of hope. Trying to use the potion of invincibility to get through them, but okay, there we go. I've been stuck in that room for like actual minutes getting comboed. It's awful. So, I'm trying to get the jump as close as possible. There we go, because it gives you the most amount of height. And now I'm going to be equipping a mana prism, just in case I end up losing mana on my way up this climb. Yeah, I don't have enough mana now, so it's pseudo-random, I feel like, whether you lose mana or not. I don't know. It could be a frame-dependent thing, but I haven't figured out what ends up working and what doesn't.
yeah, none of this makes sense.
Yeah.
So
It just works.
anytime we say because we
Don't
just
understand.
literally don't have an answer for it, and you'd be surprised, or maybe not be surprised, how often we have to say that.
Make sure you unequip that.
Yeah. There's that. Okay. Now that I have the wolf relics, I get to go real fast right here. The acceleration gets a little crazy sometimes. And because of that, you go so fast that when you jump up a slope and untransform, it doesn't know where to send you all the time. Well, it knows where to send you. It sends you into the floor. And we're going to be using that to skip one of the bosses up here. This is a pretty frame-tight trick, but it's not too bad.
This was originally part of the pacifist route, so we found a
different way.
yeah. This is one of my favorite tricks, so I love this one so much.
Okay. I can get bodied by these flea knights up here, so let's hope that doesn't happen. Oh no, this level up's gonna make things weird. Yeah. But since I killed some of them, they won't be bothering me anymore. So that's nice. I can just set up again. There we go.
Nice.
Nice.
And that skips I'm in the room for the Lesser Demon boss fight, but it doesn't trigger him. If I went a little bit to the right, it would have triggered him, and we would have had to fight him. And here we go. Here's the Soul of Bat. And now things go more or less kind of like the any % route. We're going to be going towards the second castle. But there's a couple bosses in the way, and we have to skip them, so that's going to be fun. There's another floor clip that I'm going to go for just once to see if I can get it. It's pretty cool if you can. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, anytime you're running at a slope, oh, nice, and you transform into the wolf, you have a chance to just clip into the floor, depending on your speed and positioning. So that's cool. That saves like 5 or 10 seconds, I don't know, some amount of time. I did unequip the library card, right? Okay, good.
It's unfortunate you don't have gravity boots because there's something really weird you can do in the elevator if you have the gravity boots.
Oh, yeah.
But it only happens in the unpatched version of 360 for some reason.
Okay. Since my movement or my mana isn't as, I don't have as much as I would normally in any other run, I have to kind of be conservative about my movement because each one of these wing smash things where I'm flying across the room cost mana, and I don't want to run out because then I'll just get bodied by these enemies because I'm extremely under-leveled for this area, and I'm also in luck mode, which means I don't have very much defense at all. I'm actually going to have to equip some more armor before this next fight, or else I just outright die. Nice. That movement's a little hard.
Yeah, even with the in-game armor that he got at the beginning of the game, you still have low defense.
Yeah, let's equip the Alucard Mail. Because if I didn't have this on, I would just outright die by his attack. And for whatever reason, that works. Please, yep. Yeah, when you're against the wall as the bat, your hitbox, like, I guess somewhat clips into the wall when you get big tossed, and that ends up happening, and yeah. It's useful for skipping bosses. I'm going to be doing it one more time to skip Medusa later on.
Yeah, I think it's because the bat has a smaller hitbox, so like when you get hit, it like pushes your hitbox down because you like change back.
Mm-hmm. Something like that. Oh, that was the Richter skip, by the way. That's pretty normal now. I could have soft blocked there, but I didn't, which is good. There's a high chance of soft blocking there where you just walk against the wall forever.
Yeah, so like the cutscene trigger for that Richter fight is in that doorway, but there's like a couple pixels at the very top of that doorway where you can kind of like just clip over it with the wolf to skip that.
Yeah, I guess you enter the room in a way that it doesn't recognize, and it loads the default room, which is Richter being saved, so you don't have to actually fight him. Oh no, please don't kill me. Okay, we're good. Anything that hits me from here on out, except for the things I want to hit me on purpose, will kill me in one hit. So, yeah. We're just gonna hope that doesn't happen. I've died to almost every enemy during one of these runs. Yeah, here I'm luring Medusa into the corner, and I'm gonna have her push me out of bounds. Just like that. Okay, cool. If you don't time that correctly, you will get hit and die, and it's really bad. Okay. Oh no. Yeah, I have a safety save in case something like that happened. I knew I was gonna die to something. You always die to something. Here you go. Oh well. Hey, nothing ever happened. So remember that Medusa skip that I was talking about and haven't done yet? Yeah, this is what that looks like. Please, 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 please. Okay. I didn't want to die again. It was a little iffy whether I had enough health to make it through there. Okay. Yeah, I had barely not enough mana through that section. That's why I ended up untransforming directly into that Black Panther. Am I going to die again? Please, no. Oh, no. This is bad. This is real bad. This is real bad. And we're good. Anything will kill me in one hit. It's really ridiculous. Okay. Hitboxes are a little bit weird. I'm going to be breaking open a secret with the wing smash, even though I was like way away from it. It's just one of those weird quirks of the game.
They got that heart refresh to set up a first shift line later on in the game.
Yeah, because I had used my heart refresh earlier. I want to make sure I have one for a trick that skips having to have any of these like late game relics. Where am I going? Wing smashing downwards is hard. Okay, there we go. Okay, these guys all one-hit me, so let's not get hit. Okay. After this, there's a room with like a couple of enemies that I've died so many times. Like the last couple of rooms, it's very, very easy to die if you miss any of your movement at all. So let's just hope that doesn't happen. I'm gonna play it pretty safe. Just make sure I have enough MP and some invincibility going in, just in case. Yeah, that whole room is awful. If you miss a wing smash and you just fall, you just die. And the other thing that we haven't mentioned yet is the wing smash that I'm doing here is a pretty finicky input, and you have to do it over and over and over again in order to chain it together and not like fall out of the spell. So.
Yeah, and every time you use that, it uses up MP. That's why it just kind of drains as you're flying.
This is probably the last room where I can probably die, so let's hope that doesn't happen. And okay. So coming up here is going to be the reverse shift line glitch. That's not going to work. That should work. Yeah, I was setting it up with a pause buffer just to be safe and not waste any extra time. You barely have enough MP to make it through. If you drop wing smash during that section, you just fall out and die to the enemies down there.
It was wing smashing in there.
It's really slow for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason that particular area, or some ceilings, if you're above them, it's just really slow.
Thankfully, there's a heart refresh in that last room. Otherwise, this next trick wouldn't be possible. This is the slowest trick, I guess, slowest looking trick. I'm going to be chaining heart refreshes back and forth to open up a huge like screen warp shift line thing. I'm trying to set it up with like a frame perfect front slide because it saves a whole lot of time. So yeah, we have a lot of time because this is going to be going on for like a minute and a half. So if you want to read some donations, go ahead.
All right. Well, we have $100 from Gogo Desika, donating again during the Castlevania block. Some of my favorite games of all time. We also have $15 from Chris Tolentino. Hey guys, been watching since 2012 and finally had the cash to step up and donate. In honor of my aunt who passed in 2005 to liver cancer, I'm donating for my favorite game of all time, so. Also, hey Teddy, you still watching? And we have $10 from Julie Marie. Cheers from Canada. My husband and I look forward to this event every year. Thank you runners and staff for your time and amazing skill. We also have $50 from Kishan X. Second donation of the marathon, and how could I not donate during one of my favorite Castlevania games? Good luck to the runners, and let's destroy cancer. Let's see, we also have $25 from Evil Wraith. Had to donate during the Castlevania block, one of my very favorite game series. This is going towards making the Zelda Link to the Past randomizer run swordless, because while I do want to kill cancer, I am still evil.
Okay, this next one should be the last one, hopefully, if I did it properly. If not, we're gonna have to sit through that again. And yep, I'm in it. Yep, that's just what happens. And the trigger to load Dracula's chamber is right here, off screen. For whatever reason, they just put it there. So I don't have to fight Shaft. And yeah, this is the first boss I think we've had to fight.
Who's Shaft? Never heard of him.
Yep. Yep. And time is gonna be coming up after Dracula's dead, so final hit. If I'm an idiot, I can die to him, so. And time. Okay. Not too bad.
Sub 30 is a really solid time for this.
Yeah, especially with all the things that can possibly go wrong. Only having one death is not too bad. I didn't fail any of the tricks that I didn't want to fail. Like I didn't have to retry on like Doppelganger skip or anything like that, which is really good. Those are really hard. But yeah, this is Symphony of the Night, Zero Bosses, really cool run. Yeah, thanks.